Alrighty. So just I had this idea the other day. I have the Growbox stem here, and it's hard to like turn the battery on and off. So my thought is drill a hole and put a rocker switch in it. So I got a set of 20 of these. I think it's like four different lights, 4 different colors: red, blue, green, and amber. So I have an amber one hooked up here right now. Wired it all up. The way it works is from the power source, I have my ground, which is junctioned or tied in with the ground to this side of the connector. There's a little battery on the bottom of here, and that's the power source. And then this right here provides power, and then this right here is known as the accessory, or the thing that it needs to be switched on and off. So with the way this works, since there's 3 wires on the device itself, or on the switch itself, the power source, so that's from the battery, and then the device that needs power supply to it goes in the middle, and then the ground can be junctioned to one another, or I guess have its own. I think it has to be junctioned to one another. Yeah, it has to be junctioned to one another, I believe, because so it can set up so it can complete the circuit. There we go. So that's that, and I have it hooked up, and right now it is off, and I have this little phone here, and what I'm going to do, put them close together so I can get them in the same shot first off, and then you'll see a little green light on the battery, but more importantly you'll see the phone turn on. So this is on and providing charge. So you have the green light here, and then it's showing, oh, it should be showing charging. Guess it doesn't show charge. Anyways, it should be charging. But I know it works because I tried it on the phone that I'm recording from now. I wanted to record from this phone, or I wanted to show this one, but it's kind of hard when, you know, I need to record with it. But that's it, pretty quick, wanted to show that, and I'm going to actually install that into the box, probably on the bottom, or probably on the side. And that's it. Alrighty, so another update here. Added a temperature sensor. My business partner Jamel was telling me, he's like, yeah, you know, it'd probably be good if you get a temperature sensor on the inside. I had thought about it before, but I was like playing around with a couple of things, and he was totally right. So I only have one sensor hooked up. There's this breadboard here, but that adhesive is pretty strong, so once it's on, it's on there. Like literally, if you lift up that breadboard, the GPIO pins that are stuck, that are like wedged to make in these holes, will literally come out. So it's kind of crazy, or the pin inserts, I should say. Guys already heard about the 2 USB cables. Added the switch here, so I can turn the battery backup on and off. The battery backup itself, that's on the bottom layer of this whole setup. As you can kind of see here, it's like 3 layers there. That 3rd layer is the top here. I set that to be on always, so it's already on, and then all I have to do is flip this switch. It completes the circuit, and I can shut this sucker on and off in terms of doing like hard reboots and things like that. I can do a soft reboot via, or I can do a what's it called, Control-Alt-Delete software reboot when I have something hooked up to a USB. So if that doesn't work and it's totally frozen, I can still do this here at the side, especially if it overheats. So that was like a really good thought on my part. Pat on my back. That's pretty much it. I crimped all the ends here for all the things that I'm going to actually be putting in place or connecting to this. And then I've got the power cord for the Tower of Power. But yeah, so here's the box. A lot of stuff is in there. A whole lot of stuff. I did the heat shrink wrapping on the insulated ends for the switch here. That works out well, but at the same time, like, I think I melted the glue that held the battery onto the bottom of this thing here, so hopefully I didn't actually overheat or damage the battery. We'll see in time. It's a prototype unit. This should be version, I think, 1.3 I'll probably make this 1.4.2 or so, just by adding the sensor, the switch. Also started working on a script that will output to, or actually not will, but does output to the main console, so that you'll see screen updates, for instance, like, you know, title of the box. That's already on GitHub, by the way. It's the system stat something. Hold on. Let me get that up and running here. So GB stem. It's moved out of dev scripts here. So CLI system stat messages. I gotta work on the script just a little bit. Oh, let's focus. Not any better. Anyways, I guess I'll put a link in the description. But Grobox Stem, MJNS hosting. So github.com/MJNS hosting /Grobox -stem. But in here, it'll take the current time. It runs every 10 seconds. It's just a function that runs every 10 seconds using set interval. And project name, Grobox Stem, says it at the top. Says current time, host name, uptime, that's in minutes, total memory usage, disk usage, and this goes a little bit deeper here, and this gives me all my Ethernet interfaces as well. Wait, okay, yeah, it does. Okay, good. I thought there was something that was off here. Here we go. Zoomed in for you guys there. So network interfaces, and right here I print all network interfaces except for the local host, or the loopback interface. I think I'm gonna try and kind of modify that to make it where it's like, you know, or, you know, local host or loop or something like that, because I'm sure there's going to be that one operating system that's going to say loopback or some crap like that, you know. So I don't want to list those interfaces. But Node.js has in the OS, so where it says OS, require OS, focus network, the network interfaces, and then os.network interfaces, it actually has a module in there that, or it's within the OS module, it gives you all that information, and exposes all that information for you to use. Here I'm just monitoring the usage of the what's it called, file path, the root file path, and pretty much writes all of that information and all the different addresses. So for instance, in this key value here, it actually has probably about 3, and I just list all those IP addresses with their CDR notation. So if it's a /24, /64 for IPv6 addresses, it shows all that. And then at the very bottom, the tty.write, and then that \033c, that actually clears the screen and then puts all new data on there, so you don't see any remnants of what was on the screen previously, which is really nice. And then runs the function. So that's pretty nice. Runs every 10 seconds. But I got that going so I can get actually like system status messages and other information, you know, login information, or just where I can say, all right, cool, this is where I have to go so I can get to the GUI. And then of course you'll see that via, you know, the output from the HDMI here. But yep, that's pretty much it. As always, thanks for watching. You know, I totally forgot to test this out here. So I guess let's do that real quick right now. So if I press the button, the blue LED comes on, and then you can see the little LED in the background for the Raspberry Pi, and that's coming on right there. And blue LED is on. Turn it off, and I got my switch working. This was about 7/8 of an inch on my step bit to actually drill this hole. It's a little bit smaller than 7/8 of an inch. I was actually measuring the outer diameter here. but of course the inner diameter is a little bit smaller. So this hole is like, it is just small enough, like it's just covering this hole. So thankfully that didn't turn into a disaster, and it looks very clean. I'm very pleased with the way it looks here on the side. So that's pretty nice. So I got 3 holes in there now. If anything, I just gotta seal that up with some silicone and make that look a little bit better, and kind of tighten it up or airproof it, or I don't know, make it just try and make sure nothing can crawl through, or not too much gets in where I don't want it to get in, and the air escapes from the right places. Alrighty, peace.